I literally hate, I'm not exaggerating here, sitting down to create YouTube videos every single week. Believe me, I've been there, done that. It was part of my process for a long time. I did it for months on end, and I knew that it was something that I could no longer do. I just knew there had to be a much better system out there. So now I actually batch create all of my YouTube videos for an entire month in one sitting. And I want to walk you through my exact YouTube workflow and process of how I get ready to batch these videos and how I actually batch these videos. I do want to give a quick disclaimer before we dive into this video though. I do create a lot of content, and I've been doing this for a very, very long time. And I do also have help through a content manager. And so the things that I'm going to be talking about in this video are going to be very high level. They are going to be very time intensive. It doesn't mean that you have to approach YouTube video content creation or video content creation in general in the same way that I do. I just want to lay the foundation and let you know that there are better processes and better systems out there. So take a couple of tips and tricks from this video or copy my entire workflow. I don't care. But basically I want you to know that you don't, especially if you're a solo entrepreneur, you don't have to tackle all of this all at once in the beginning. Okay, step one is the ideation process. So one thing that I want you to think about before you even start coming up with ideas for your YouTube videos is why you're on YouTube in the first place. What is the end goal for you here? A lot of people actually join YouTube because they're like a TikTok creator, they're a lifestyle creator, and they want to do more vlogs as a way to build community, but also maybe tap into some ad revenue for YouTube. Or maybe it's a way that they can get brand partnerships or funnel to their e-commerce store. But for me, as a personal brand and as somebody who provides services in digital products, I actually don't use YouTube in the same way. I simply use YouTube to build awareness for my brand and use it as my top of funnel content that I can take and use across different social media platforms. That's the goal for me. I'm not here to make a crazy amount of money. I'm not here to go viral. I don't even want a big community on YouTube. And with that in mind, I structure my videos and I come up with ideas that I know my community wants to see rather than picking topics that I'm like, oh my God, that's gonna go viral. So knowing that end goal is going to help in the ideation stage. I'm going to make it a little bit different for every single person or every single business owner. So then moving into the next phase of the ideation process, I actually tap into my, you guessed it, content pillars. And if you guys want some help with your content pillars, I have some videos linked in the description below where you can learn a little bit more about how I do my content pillars and kind of give you a content pillars 101. I take a look at kind of some of the questions I've gotten recently over on Instagram, in the comment section on YouTube, kind of just see what my community is asking for and if I can align it to a content pillar or align it to my overall messaging and the things that I want to talk about. That is the first place I go to tap into content ideas. It's to literally give people what they're asking for. So the idea for this particular video, I actually created this TikTok where I kind of walked through my entire YouTube process in a 1-minute quick vlog with a voiceover, and people were really intrigued by it. Got a couple questions about it like, hey, how do you do this? How do you do that? And I'm like, all right, this is perfect for a longer form YouTube video. I can expand upon this. And I recommend you do the same. Go into your comment sections, go into the DMs that you're having with people, or even tap into like the FAQs or the objections you get from when you're selling your services, your offerings, your products, and start to create long form YouTube videos about it. And then the last place I tap into for content ideation, I actually go back and review my old YouTube content. And of course, this involves a little bit of analytics, but high overview here. Basically what I look at, is there a video that I loved that I thought my audience would love that didn't go over so well? Maybe it didn't perform as well as I wanted it to. And I take a look at the video, I'm like, maybe it was too short. Maybe it was too long. Did I get a lot of questions about this one particular part in the video? I see if I can expand or contract on that particular video that didn't perform as well. Maybe it was too overwhelming. Can I break it down into 4 different YouTube videos? Can I make it easier to consume over a 4-part series? Or let's say there was a video that did perform really well. I've done this a few times where I will go back and watch that video and see if there are any things that I need to update. So I'll just re-record it, or if there is something in there that I can continue to expand upon and further my audience's knowledge about a particular topic. And if I'm being honest, this is where a vast majority of my content ideas come from, is just looking back at old content and figuring out a way to not only reuse it, but recycle it and make my knowledge and my messaging work harder for me so that I'm not always overwhelming you guys with a ton of different things that you don't need. I'm really drilling on the things that you do need. So moving into step 2, honestly, what I think is the most important part of the process is scripting. Now, when you guys think of scripting, you're probably thinking, oh my God, I have to write a script for every single little word that I'm gonna say in my YouTube video. That's gonna take me forever. So my way of recording and my way of approaching scripting is actually more like an outline. I hate using a teleprompter. I don't even like trying to memorize the words that I wrote down on the screen and try and repeat them. There are a couple of times where I'm like, I need to say this exactly as is, and I'll write that in my script. But basically what I like to do is give myself bullet points, give myself a loose outline, and then I freely talk to you guys. That's all I'm doing here. This is not a scripted moment. But what I did do is write down a bullet point of all the things that I want to touch on in this particular section so that I know I'm staying on track with my YouTube video. I'm hitting the points that I need to hit. And this is the kicker here. I've written down things that I know are going to perform well as short form videos also. Oh, and I also like to sit down and script everything out at least a day or two before. I don't like recording and scripting on the same day. Gives me like brain overwhelm, but you can do what works best for you. And I actually have a system and an approach to my YouTube scripting that's a little bit different. So the way that I like to script my YouTube videos or outline my YouTube videos, I have an intro, 3 main talking points, and then an outro, and that's it. So starting with my hook, from a user perspective, I personally hate if I'm going onto YouTube and I have a question about something and I just need the tactical strategy, I need the tutorial, I need the walkthrough. I don't want a 5-minute intro with this 30-second long like trailer. I don't need to know your entire life story. I literally just want the content. Selfish as that may seem, that's how a lot of people view my content as well. So I keep my intro so short. My intro literally has a hook and a little bit of context, and then I jump into the video. I try and keep my intro between 30 seconds to a minute, and that's it. I really try not to like tell my story, talk about who I am, because most of the people that are watching my YouTube videos, they are not necessarily discovering me on YouTube, but they've been funneled to YouTube through my newsletter, through my Instagram. Yeah, sometimes I have people find me on YouTube, but my goal here on YouTube is not to like talk about who I am, talk about my credentials. I'm here to literally teach you. So then moving into my talking points, I try and do 3 talking points for every single YouTube video. Sometimes there's a little bit more if I'm giving like quick tips, but I really try and stick to this 3-point format because of a couple of reasons. Number 1, it keeps my videos nice and short. It gives you guys a journey to follow along. They're easily digestible. I don't like creating super long YouTube videos. And the best part here is it is super easy for my content manager to then go pull content based on those 3 topics. She can easily and quickly find at least 3 different videos that we can post as short form content that we rip right from YouTube. So she's really, really good at her job, and most of the time she can pull more than 3 clips, but we know that we have at least 3 different clips that we can post as short form content across social media platforms. And to make it even easier for her, most of the time those 3 talking points will have at least 3 subtopic points, like quick little bullets that she can easily pull for me to create like quote posts, or she can kind of digest it into a carousel for Instagram for me. So it's just a structure that I like to follow, knowing that I'm going to repurpose this content later on. And then the way that I manage the scripting and this process is I actually keep everything inside of Airtable. And this is a process that just works so well for me and works so well for me to collaborate with my content manager. And it's just a very robust kind of customized version of my basic Airtable content calendar. And if you actually grab the template in my shop, you're gonna notice that there's not really a YouTube tab in that basic content calendar, but you can totally customize it and make it fit to your specific YouTube needs. All right, it's step 3, filming, the last part of this process. So I actually like to schedule inside of my Google Calendar a day to record all my YouTube videos. Typically, when I sit down to record the YouTube videos, it's only gonna take about an hour, but I block off the entire morning. And on that day, I knock out at least 4 different YouTube videos. My process is to wake up early in the morning, knock out my morning routine, do my hair and makeup, so that I can sit down and record first thing in the morning when the light is best. Because in all honesty, I hate dealing with artificial lighting. I don't think it looks as good, and I have glasses, so it's a whole thing. It's like a big pet peeve of mine. So I really do lean into only using natural lighting in my videos. And then I sit sit down at my content creation station and literally just record everything. The way that I script my YouTube videos and all the prep work that I do allows me to sit down and batch all 4 videos at once. And the only thing I have to focus on is recording. I honestly let this camera roll, pause when I need to, and we take out those pauses later on. And recording all these videos takes about an hour because vast majority of my content, vast majority of the videos that I post on YouTube are actually only between like 8 and 12 minutes long. And recording the video takes about 15 to 20 minutes, you know, because I pause and I look at my outline, and of course the dog barks all the time. So with those breaks and interruptions, it takes a little bit longer to record than the actual finalized video. But again, all in all, I'm looking at maybe an hour to 2 of my time. And then after I'm done recording those YouTube videos, I record any supplemental content that I might need, some B-roll shots. If I need to record a short form video, I take pictures from the thumbnails. And then with that leftover time that I have in the morning, I like to go and have fun with my content. I'll go batch create a bunch of reels or TikToks answering people's questions, and I just have like a ton of content sitting in my drafts when my hair and makeup is already done for those days that I feel like posting something. Maybe I only had one feed post go out and I'm like, I really want to post a reel, but I don't feel like jumping on reels. Or if I want some supplemental content for TikTok, I have a ton of stuff sitting in my drafts folder, and I don't have to do my hair and makeup every day. So use this time, use it well and efficiently. Once you're already in the mindset of recording, it's so much easier to then go and record a ton of other content. And yeah, it's tiring. I block off the entire morning and I take a nice big long lunch break afterwards. And believe me, there are days when this is the end of my day. After I'm done recording, sometimes I just go sit on the couch and be a couch potato because this stuff is exhausting. But that's it. That's the process of how I prep and then batch all of my YouTube videos each and every month. And after I'm done recording, I take all of this content and organize it inside of Airtable and Descript and get it off to my content manager, where she starts to dive into the post-production process and all the content repurposing. And if you like how this sounds and you want to know how a system like this could work for you, I actually have a course called The Content System, where I actually show you the behind the scenes of my exact system and show you how to create your own. This course helps you build a content strategy and ecosystem that works for your small business. It's custom to you and it's sustainable. If you want more information, check the link in the description. Otherwise, I will see you guys next week.